And we're live. Welcome back to another Corona Geek here where we talk all about mobile app development using Corona SDK. I'm your host, Charles McKeever, and today we're going to talk about ragdolls. We're going to talk about physics, talk about joints, talk about physics bodies. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. Joining us today is Ed Marina from roaminggamer.com. Hey, Ed. He's got his mute on.
There, had myself muted.
Also joining us is Greg Pugh from GP Animations. He's joining us from the underside of something. Can you guess what it is? If you can, good for you.
No bonuses for guessing.
No bonus. Bling, bling. There you go. That's all you get.
He's pretending to me.
Earlier, we were trying to figure out, yeah, there we go. We were trying to figure out all the attachments at the bottom. DVI, USB.
Oh, now you're giving it away.
Oh, I'm not giving it away. Well, okay. Were they supposed to guess it on their own?
Yeah, well, they'll guess it.
But where is it? Where are those things located? I thought it was under his desk. You said it was something else. Yeah. Anyway. So Greg's here with us. So Greg's been away for a while, and he's back, and that's great. Good to have you here, Greg. Okay, so let's do a few announcements before we get into today's material. Corona Geek 145 is up for your viewing pleasure. And I did notice that this time a lot of people watched the clips. Almost as many people watched the clips as watched the show, which I thought was interesting. Generally we get a kind of a mix. Some people watch the show, some people just watch the clips. But this time, we talked about creating library extensions using JSON to load and save data, and also persisting data across different sessions, which apparently struck a chord. Struck a nerve is a whole different thing. Struck a chord with people because they watched those in long form and short form. So if you want to do the same, you can go over to youtube.com/coronageek. You can find 145 there, and also watch all the rest of them too. There's 144 other shows that you can watch. Some people actually do go back and watch. They start watching from number one. And then they watch all the way through, which I find completely amazing. It's just
it's good.
Yeah, because each show is like an hour long, so that times 145 is a whole lot of watching.
145 hours.
No,
Don't confuse me with your math, Charles.
Yeah, it's sorcery.
We're here to help you out.
Number sorcery. Okay. Also in June we are playing Alone and 1.1 Target. So we're playing 2 games this month for the chance to win a $50 gift card. So if you like to play endless runner type games, then Alone is going to be a great one for you. It's available on iOS and Android, and we've also featured it in the desktop demos, the upcoming Corona beta of desktop support. Alone has been one of those apps that we have demoed using desktop, so you can find that as well on the YouTube channel. And also, but Alone is a paid app, so if you are wanting to do a free option, you can play 1.1 Target. It's available on iOS and Android as well, and it's more of a one-touch kind of shooter, kind of jumper kind of game. So it gets progressively harder as you go because of the levels. It introduces additional barriers and blockages. But both games are fantastic. So if you get a chance, go over and download one of those, play, and then all you have to do is go over to facebook.com/coronageek and post your high score. So that will enter you for a chance to win a $50 gift card. We'll announce the high score winner at the end of the month. So be sure to play. Also, one other thing I want to tell you about before we get into the content for today is that the Udemy course is still available from Daniel Williams. It's on game development using Corona SDK in 2015, very specific title, with ASO and ads. So if you are planning to actually publish a game, not just create it and put it on your desktop, this is going to be a course for you. So you can get in there and optimize your listing in the store, and also maybe monetize it with some ads. So it's kind of a end-to-end type thing. And he doesn't do one of the things I'd like to see Daniel do is a course on creating your game graphics. He supplies all of those for you though as part of the course. So you go in, you download the material, you get the graphics, the sounds, the code, everything that you need. I mean, the game's already pretty much ready to go. And then from there you can take the course and learn how it's all put together. And if you want to, you could probably even reskin it. So that's a great course to take. You can find it on Udemy. We'll put a link in the show notes. And if you use the coupon code CoronaGeek, you get the course for $9, which is insane. It's an absolute steal. I mean, like I said, you're getting the graphics, the sound, the code, how it all is put together, and all that for $9. So go check it out. All right. So Jason, thanks for joining us. You're not in the car today. That's good.
Nope.
I'm concerned for your health and safety in the car, because it's summer is upon us, and I don't want you to pass out in the car, and then we're like.
No, don't worry. I'm usually running the AC.
Oh yeah. Oh good.
Burning gas.
Burning gas for an hour. Great. Got it. Well, thanks for joining us today. I appreciate it. If you guys haven't had a chance, go check out jasonschroeder.com. Jason's got a lot of great stuff over there. Libraries for doing things, and radial timers and all kind of stuff. I can't even. There's too much to list, but go check it out. Ed, what are you showing on your screen? What is that?
I'm just getting ready for announcements. We're still in that phase of the game here.
We are. Go ahead.
I got a cough.
You got to play golf.
Sorry about that. Got to clear my throat there. Okay, so I had a goal at the beginning of the year. I was supposed to release 26 games this year. I'm way off the mark, but things are starting to warm up. I have currently released 5 games on Android and on iOS. They're still running through the iOS approval process. It lags tremendously, but they have mostly gone through once, and then I had to make a correction, so I think they'll just fly through again once they get to a reviewer's desktop. So there isn't much to say there, but the AMU, another mashup is what that stands for, games were something I mentioned previously. They're a mashup between asteroids and some other mechanic. For example, AMU-LL is lunar lander mechanics for motion, but everything else is like asteroids. FB is like Flappy Bird for motion, and DTTS is don't touch the spikes motion, bouncing off the walls basically, combined with asteroids, because I thought it was kind of a curious thing to try to take and put 2 game mechanics together and see how it would change the experience. And for me personally, I like the lunar lander and the Flappy Bird combo. The DTTS it's a so-so, but I don't really care for it because I can't get very far before I die. And then I got a new game which I had some folks review, Red and Dead 2, which is it's a 2-touch game, and some folks had trouble playing it because it's a little bit different from what you're used to when you see, like, what was the one by Ketchup? It was the Amazing Brick.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that was a touch game where you would touch the screen and the brick would get like a little kick. Sort of a similar concept here, but it doesn't get a kick. It gets, the longer you hold, the bigger the kick is. So you can finesse the brick in a sense, if you want to think of it as a brick. Although I really wasn't starting there. I wanted to play around with different input types. So this is an experiment. Anyway, long story short, things are starting to ramp up. I'm working on a game with somebody in the community. We'll hopefully get that released here in a couple of weeks. It's going to be a rather big game. At least for me, it'll have a number of very interesting features. In fact, I'm hoping, if we get it done in time, to get it maybe encourage people to play it as one of the monthly games on the show.
Oh, that would be cool.
Because it'll be on Android and Google, or Android and Apple, and it has a multiplayer facet.
Oh wow!
Nice.
So,
can you give us any more details? I'm intrigued.
I can't really talk about it because if I tell you too much, it'll totally let the cat out of the bag. Exactly. We don't want a cat, so you got a cat, but okay. You got a cat, right?
Hey, so the icons are very similar. Of course, they're all space shooter kind of icons. Are they kind of the same code base, but just variations?
Yeah, absolutely. So the way I did this, coded this game up was I went in and I coded up the base game. Let me go back here. which is Ammo B. This is the one. It's basically asteroids. But instead of having just bullets, you've got bullets or missiles. You've got multiple barrels to your weapons, so 1, 2, and 3. And you get shields and some other power-ups, basically, that you can connect or collect here. So these little icons here are power-ups. So this is what sets you up for understanding the game mechanic. And then what I did was I said, all right, let's take all of this and twist one little part. And so instead of flying around like you would normally with your ship, I changed the input mechanic and I made it act like Flappy Bird or Lunar Lander. And then every other part of the game stayed the same, and I just made minor tweaks to the art so you could tell you were playing a different game. And I guarantee, these are free games, by the way. I guarantee you, if you start off with Ammo B, which is the base, and then you play one of the other ones, you're going to say, wow, that completely changes the game. You've got to approach it with a completely different strategy for winning.